Heyo! Can I do one more? Yeah, I just got lost there. I just got lost. Okay. Heyo! One more. Heyo! Okay, like I don't think heyo is good. Does anyone have anything else? No, I've been doing heyo. Heyo! It's been like heyo! Will you like it? Okay. Ready when you are. Heyo! It was promised in February and delivered this very week. An entire State of Play showcase focused on Borderlands 4. Now you might think it would make for an absolute festival of embarrassments, packed with things to make fun of in a video like this, and you would be absolutely right about that. However, I was surprised to find that I actually think they did a good job with this. I think it's actually a nice showcase. With that in mind, please observe the manic GamePro TV energy Gearbox founder Randy Pitchford brings in the introduction.
Heyo, I'm Randy Pitchford, founder of Gearbox Entertainment. Today, we're giving you our deepest look yet at Borderlands 4.
Who does that person think he's talking to? Is Borderlands 4 for kids? That's how you talk to kids. And it says here it may contain content inappropriate for children. Probably 17 plus. So even on that low end, imagine talking to a room of high school seniors like this.
All the excitement, loot, and gnarly carnage all running on PlayStation 5 Pro.
You can't talk to them like that. Those kids will bully you. They will find you in the teacher's lounge and they will spill your milk. By the way, if you're wondering what GamePro TV energy is, I'm talking about this.
Hi everybody, I'm JD Roth.
Yeah, and I'm Brennan.
What's happening, bud?
Work it!
So not necessarily bad, but maybe not the right fit for this audience. When you see the senior producer and creative director appear, you're almost relieved that they're just dryly reading from a teleprompter without frantically stretching their eyebrows as high as they'll go.
And with Borderlands 4, we push things even further.
This is hands down our best Borderlands ever.
Let's get it! This is Borderlands 4.
And you're saying, hey bro, ease off. They're just game designers. All right, they don't have media expertise. They didn't do theater in high school. They're not trained magicians who have years of experience in front of a live audience. Cut them some slack. But I guess what I find so off-putting about it is that they do seem coached.
But enough of all that. Let's get into the game.
Thanks to our improved lobby system, it's easier than ever to join up with your friends on the fly.
It seems like someone wants them to read this text like you would a book to a kindergartner.
We need to break into a secret black site located deep in the mountains.
I'm saying it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to talk like that. If you're looking for the gold standard of promotional presentation from an artist who is not a professional presenter, I think we're all thinking the same thing. Ryan Coogler talking about types of film in a sponsored Kodak video.
This is what we call large format in motion picture photography. It's just 65 millimeter. Crazy enough, the same material as this Super 8 right here, but just wider.
Hey, where's his teleprompter? Perplexingly, one of the first things Randy Pitchford wants fans to know about the new Borderlands is this.
For our longtime Borderlands fans, we're throwing back to our more grounded tone.
Look, I scrubbed through this whole thing, frame by frame, and I could not find the grounded tone anywhere. And at the same time, I have to wonder if the presenter's general Disney Channel demeanor is not so different from the actual video game's demeanor. So when Borderlands 4 was first revealed, it did seem like they might be swerving to a different tone. But as more trailers released, they sort of regressed back to what we've always seen. Borderlands 3's shoot, loot, schloot has become Borderlands 4's shoot, loot, cute. We're back to nearly the exact same marketing that the Borderlands franchise has used in the past. I don't know, but now it seems like when they use swear words, it's like with the same conviction as an 11-year-old in the back of the bus. And if you think that's just trailers, that's just trailers. Here's an example of what the in-game dialogue sounds like.
Everyone else heard the talking creep, right? Tim feels like the product of Lichter's twisted mind. Another of his experiments.
Am I off base here? I think it sounds like a kid's show. I think that is basically Hot Wheels City level delivery.
Guys, those creatures could be back any minute.
And as you can see, I have every car you'd ever want. A monopoly on awesomeness.
And now at this point, you might be wondering, didn't this guy say he liked the state of play? Is he just some kind of sick freak? Now, obviously, there's no dancing around the fact that I am indeed a sick freak. But I do think that this presentation had 4 ultimately redeeming qualities. Number 1, they held back on the planet name. It's called the Punwabia phenomenon. It's when video game marketing chooses to tell you the name of the planet or some other inconsequential information before anything actually important about the video game. First time we hear about Borderlands 4's planet name, it's not until 4 minutes into the showcase.
Borderlands 4 takes place on Kairos, an all-new planet steeped in conflict.
That's incredible restraint. Though, from that point on, you are going to hear the name of the planet quite frequently.
She came to Kairos all across Kairos. Great gear on Kairos.
Hubs around Kairos, all across Kairos.
4 zones on Kairos.
To bring Kairos to life.
The protective veil around Kairos.
And again, I already know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, hold on, maybe in context, that was necessary every single time. Let's take a look at this sentence.
We've added the magic back to our loot chase, and we know you'll love grinding all that great gear on Kairos.
Look, you could just remove in Kairos, and that sentence loses no meaning whatsoever. I suspect the repetition is just some magician's trick to get you to memorize the name of the planet. And I'll be honest with you, it worked. 2, they're kinda hard on Borderlands 3. In Kairos. Borderlands 3 was a financial success. It reviewed well. However, a lot of this presentation is spent talking about fixing the mistakes they made last time.
In Borderlands 3, they dropped too often. This not only devalued legendaries, it made everything feel less valuable.
As somebody who never played it, I just gotta take their word for it. This part stuck out to me.
We've added full mission and boss replay. That's right. No more save loading to run bosses.
The phrase "no more save loading to run bosses" is so particular. Obviously, I've never said that before, but I think we can gather its meaning from context clues. But also, I think you wouldn't even think to bring that up unless you're scouring the subreddits and Discord servers for feedback. And I guess that's good. Number 3, they promised an epic boss and followed through. Voiceover says this.
For now, let's jump ahead and show you something truly badass.
You think, okay, buddy, truly badass? And then, you know what? That actually is really cool. And finally, number 4, and the true reason I think it was a good presentation, pure gameplay chunks. So the largest portions of this state of play are 2 segments where we're watching someone continuously playing the game with no apparent cuts in between. Watch this.
Another nice thing about silos is you can zip line up and take off.
Yeah, you don't have to be talking the whole time. And that's what these showcases are for. It's utilizing the medium. 20 minutes of just Borderlands 4 is a lot, but it's enough time to actually demonstrate the act of playing your video game. Your audience is already here. They're locked in. For a franchise with so many annoying trailers, this is a surprisingly straightforward direction. Borderlands 4 might be for kids, but I think this was a mature choice. But before we go, one last tiny note. We definitely could have fit more people in front of these guys, right? Yeah, I admit, that's a cool, confident pose, but it shouldn't come at the cost of pushing everyone else to the back. In Kairos. And that's delayed input. I'll be back next week. Until then, thanks for watching. It's time for another regular installment of Switch 2 Launch Watch. Tangentially related this time, Microsoft this week announced that they will match Nintendo's once standout ridiculous cost of games up to $80. And what's weird is they just announced that this week, even though their $80 games won't appear until this holiday season. Look, we just want to get everybody prepared for that. However, active immediately, we've got an overall hardware price increase. There's a lot of Xboxes here. The little one costs $80 more. The big one costs $130 more. For the first time in my life, it's actually smart to buy a game console when it comes out. And if you're thinking this might be bad news, don't worry. Microsoft understands that these changes are challenging, and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. And the bright side of all this is that Sony's raised their prices, Nintendo's raised their prices, and now Microsoft has raised their prices, which means that is definitely the end of that. But thinking of all this, I was reminded of a commercial from 1999. It's only 15 seconds. I'm just going to play the whole thing.
Payday, Mitch. I'm proud of you. With this, you join the American workforce. A rare breed of determined and dedicated quit.
Now $129.95 gets you an N64 and a second atomic purple color controller free.
And clearly I got to apologize that I could not find a better quality upload of that commercial, but that upload doesn't even have that many views. It's not like a popular, well-memed commercial, but that one really stuck to me. I think partially because when I first saw it, I was 13 years old. I was not yet part of the American workforce myself, and so it was kind of rare to see on TV somebody just doing raw job math. So that I could see at that moment, oh, okay, so if I work at a taco restaurant for 1 week, that equals one Nintendo 64. Cool. And actually, I remember at the time feeling bad for that boss who thought he had found a kindred spirit, right? He was about to become this kid's mentor, and then he just leaves suddenly. And yet today when I watch that, I'm just proud of that teenager. He found peace and wants nothing more. Anyone would say, don't you want more money though? He says, no. Aren't there some CDs you want to buy? No. Don't you want to buy a car someday? No. Don't you want to go on dates? Gross. All right. Well, how are you going to buy games for your Nintendo 64? I'll borrow them from friends. And when they come over to my house, I will let them use the atomic purple controller. Suki Hotu.